Hello everyone, I'm Adriana from Alexander Beauty Center. Today we are going to learn a very unique treatment. I am going to start by draping the skin and the head actually. Since I've done this most of my life, I truly believe in um, disposable items. I know most of you use towels. I don't like towels. I don't like draping the head with the towels. The reason is those towels cannot be disinfected properly, and I don't want my customer exposed to any sort of bacteria or viruses for that matter. You can use aesthetics wipes, which are pretty much the same size as the um, baby wipes. The only difference between them, these are a little bit shorter and they are moistened already. The aesthetics wipes are dry and longer, and price of course is different because the aesthetics wipes are about $11 for a package of 100, while this one is $1. Okay, so this is how I have been draping the head most of my life ever since I've learned how to do skincare. And I love it because, like I said, it is by all means safe, it's clean. These are hypoallergenic, so I have not met one person that would have allergies to the baby wipes. To this one, it goes first like so, and then like this. Once you have it in place, so you have your headband in place, you start pulling this baby wipes back. So once you do this, you have the head very well covered with something that will be discarded after each facial, so you would not be reusing this. Okay, so once the head is done, you're ready for the treatment. Different states, different rules. In Nevada, it is the law to actually use gloves only for extractions and waxing. However, I do not perform a facial without actually using gloves, and I do that from the beginning to the end, primarily because I want to keep the customer safe and myself, and secondly because I will use different currents, and I don't necessarily want to come in contact with those currents. Sometimes the intensity I'm using on the customer's face, it's a little bit stronger for my hands, so I don't want to shock myself during the treatment. If the gloves fit your hands, the customer most likely will not feel the difference. Okay, so I'm going to start by using a device to cleanse the skin. I know Basic School of Aesthetics teach cleansing with the skincare product, with the cleanser mixed with the scrub. That's fine as well. But those products are cleaning only the superficial layer of the skin. If you have a skin that is passing 35, 40, that is not enough. So you would need to use a device. You would need to use some sort of current that will penetrate 4 to 6 layers below the surface and therefore remove a lot of debris, which are dead cells, the tissues, impurities from makeup, environmental, and something like that. I am going to use what is called a scrubber, and for that matter, I'm going to prep the customer. Okay, so this is going to be the first thing that I'm doing. So you take a piece of cloth. In my case, is the baby wipe. It's already moistened. So I'm going to place this on the electrode. You can tie this on a customer's shoulder if you want, or arm, not the shoulder. I don't want to do that. Usually I just put it underneath their shoulder, so I know my customer is okay. However, any electricity you use, you have to have a good discussion with your customer and make sure that they would know that you are using electricity on them. You need to ask them about their health conditions, if they are okay, if they are not on certain type of medication, if they don't suffer of heart conditions or neurological conditions like epilepsy, because if they have those kind of problems, you're not going to be able to use electricity. Also, if they are taking some hormones, you have contraindications for that as well as chemotherapy. So once you find out the answers to those questions, you go ahead and you start doing the treatment. So this scrubber used two type of currents. It uses galvanic currents, which is a direct current used mainly for either penetrating the product or getting stuff out of the skin, so cleansing the skin. And there is also another function there where you use ultrasound, and that it's used for multiple options. One option will be to penetrate product back into the skin, or to actually use this for stimulation of the cells, because ultrasound inside of the cell produce like a almost like a manual massage. But imagine 200,000 fingers below the surface of the skin massaging the cells. It's something that obviously us with our hands we cannot do. And next thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to take the electrode, and because I want to protect my electrode as well and keep everything safe and clean, although I already cleansed my device, I am going to rub my electrode, okay? And I'm going to do something like this, where the electrode will be completely covered, okay? Next thing that I'm going to do, I am going to take a wipe, and I'm going to soak it into a little bit of green tea. So with that being said, I'm going to start the treatment, okay? So we will start from the forehead, and we go like in a shaving motion. You have to push, you probably hear already the device working, and concentrate on the creases of the skin. You can use a tea bag. Okay, I already have my green tea in here, so I'm gonna keep soaking in this. This is only for my customer. After I finish with my customer, I will discard everything that is in there. So I'm not gonna use it on anybody else. What is the intensity of that? It's gonna trigger a little bit pain, but that's normal because obviously it affects the capillaries. So and that's good because when the capillaries are stimulated, the responsible is to open the pores. So cleanse all the way down. I'm trying to stay from the thyroid and the parathyroid, so you can go about 3 fingers from the chin down, nothing below this area. You can work on the side, but you cannot work in the middle of the neck. Okay, so I'm moistening again my customer skin, and I am going to work on one side, almost like a shading. That's all you do. If you notice, like here, she has a little bit, I don't know if you see a little bit breakout that is right here, and I can work a little bit on that area to make sure I empty that or whatever it's clogged there. And then it's safe to go as close as you can without bothering the customer to on the nose. I'm going to work on the nose, work on the side. This is there to make sure everything is well. If you do it properly, you are going to be successful to remove the blackheads. So it's a perfect device to remove the blackheads. You can see a mole here. Touch with the device. You never know what's inside of those moles. Kind of source of safe energy. stop this process and we're gonna move forward to my very next procedure. Okay, so this being done, this is what I notice, and I'm going to ask my assistant here to move the camera a little bit closer. That's it. That is good. Leave it like that. Because I want you ladies to see, or gentlemen for that matter, I want to see more the customer than me. So we have normal to oily skin with a dehydration and with loss of collagen. The reason I'm saying loss of collagen, the skin is too flexible, so when that happens you have lost collagen. It's quite normal because, you know, as after 30, 35, 40, this is quite normal. If my customer wants to share her age with us, fine. If not, I'm okay with that. Okay, but I will tell you this is practically happening after 40. Okay, so loss of collagen is normal, but it can be definitely fixed. However, skincare products will never do that. So whomever tells you they fix the collagen with skincare products using collagen mask, collagen product, whatever, I'm sorry to say that, but they are big liars, because if that would be true, everybody will have a perfect tight skin, and nobody does. The only thing that fix the skin, allowing the skin to produce collagen, is a combination between a substance that is naturally found inside of the skin, and that is called hyaluronic acid, and type of currents or light, or both for that matter. So what I'm going to do next, I'm going to put hyaluronic acid with fraction coconut oil on the skin. The reason I'm going to do that, because I want to continue with the radio frequency and I don't want to burn the skin. So therefore I am going to use a little bit of both. Okay, so I'm going to take the hyaluronic acid and I'm going to take the fraction coconut oil. I already have them pure, and few drops, and then of course few drops of the hyaluronic acid, and I am going to put that on the skin as it is. Okay, I want to make sure you don't have to do a massage. As a matter of fact, I don't massage face at all. Collagen is the same consistency with a aloe vera gel. The more you massage the skin, the more you move the collagen, and in very simple English, you actually age the skin prematurely. Massage is not going to do her any good. So I'm going to have this on, and I am going to start the treatment, because I want to make sure the temperature of the skin is going to be perfect, and I'm not going to burn her. Not only that, I count on the customer to tell me exactly what is the temperature that she experienced, but I am going to use a temperature reader, so I'm going to know exactly what's the temperature in the skin. All right, Lisa, I want you to relax. Okay, I'm going to start with this side. If you feel the intensity too high, okay, you're going to feel some vibrations and heat at some point, I want you to let me know. Okay? Okay. It will take about 2-3 minutes for you to feel the heat. I know you're going to feel the hydration, the vibrations.
Feel the heat.
You feel the heat. Okay. On a scale from 1 to 10, how hot it is?
I'd say a 9 right now.
It's a 9. Okay. We're going to lower the intensity a little bit. We don't need to have it that high. And let me put a little bit more coconut oil on your skin. Again, I want that to be a buffer between the electricity and the device. All right, so we're gonna continue. Now you tell me how hot it is.
That's probably about 7 now.
Okay, 7 is good as long as we stay with that. Ideally, I would love to bring the temperature of the skin close to 95 degrees. Between 95 and 98, that's perfect because that's where collagen start being produced in a dermis. So I want to make sure that I'm getting there, okay? But I don't want to burn you, of course. So if it feels that it gets too hot, I want you to let me know, okay? And we're gonna try to see what's the temperature.
93.
And it's 95, so you can see already. Okay, we got it to 95 very fast. If I can go a little bit, anything after, above 95, you're making collagen. So I'm gonna try to keep this temperature. And like I said, if you feel that it's too hot, I want you to let me know. Okay. I'm gonna test the temperature as I go. In some area, neck is not that much fat, so it might be this is 96 already. So we're going up quite fast. I would love to bring it up to 100. If I can do that, it will be even better. Okay. As we go towards the eyes, I'm going to lower the intensity, and hopefully you're gonna feel comfortable. Normally you should have a warmth, but you should feel like a calming, soothing warmth. Is that what you feel?
The neck seems more sensitive than the face.
Okay. It is more sensitive because it's thinner, although you are only 94 degrees, so you're not that much. I'm gonna move my electrode a little bit faster. You don't have enough of fat, nobody does, on the neck unless you are a little bit you know, on a heavy set side. But most people don't have a lot of fat on the neck, so because of that you feel right away the electricity. Also on your face or neck where you have more water, water is a conductor of electricity, so you are going to feel the current a little bit faster and more intense than on others. Okay, on areas with a lot of oil, you're not going to feel it that much. So we're going to do this for about 10 minutes. Okay, have you done the mixtures that I told you at home
For
your skin? Did you start taking care of your skin as I told you last time, with cleansing your skin with sour cream and shaving cream?
I started a couple of them, yes.
Okay, I would like you to make that a habit, so
Okay.
every single day. And I'm going to explain this to the viewers. Why did I say sour cream? All the scientists that came up with brilliant ideas, and they discovered an ingredient, a molecular compound, a chemical. They started from what actually history provided to us, but very few will listen. For instance, Dr. Robert Van Scott, the scientist that discovered lactic acid, he started from the Cleopatra's regimen. So he was absolutely intrigued with the fact that Cleopatra is using, she was using milk to bathe and cleanse her skin, crushed almonds soaked in milk to scrub her skin, wine to actually wipe the skin with without knowing that that's a natural toner, and honey, aloe vera, and olive oil to moisturize the skin. Cleopatra is the ideal skin example, if you want, skincare example, because she's known to be having the most wonderful, perfect skincare. So therefore, over the centuries, scientists had started thinking, okay, what's in milk that made Cleopatra's skin so beautiful? What's in wine that right after Cleopatra was wiping her skin, historians were saying her skin was glowing? What's in honey, in almond, and so on and so forth? It took the scientists centuries, literally. I mean, if you think about it, Dr. Robert Van Scott discovered lactic acid in 72, and he was rewarded with Nobel Prize for chemistry in 74. Um, in milk, there is this special alpha hydroxy acid. It's an exception from the rule because alpha hydroxy, with the exception of kojic and lactic, they all are extracted from fruit, so they are known as fruit acids. So he discovered that, and he discovered the fact that one tiny molecule of lactic acid produces instantly in contact with the skin 1500 molecules of water. So in other words, whether you drink water or not, and that's another myth, your skin will be beautiful if your product will contain some sort of lactic acid. Now, because I believe in organic and because I know for a fact that we are humans as a big bubble of organic, if you're not using organic ingredients, your body will reject them. The rejection could be seen on the skin as an allergy in the most happy case scenario. So I want to use items, food, substances that I can eat. If I cannot eat that, I do not want to put that on my face. So I cannot eat sodium myristate, which is an emulsifier found in most of the skincare products. But I can definitely eat aloe oil, avocado oil, olive oil, any kind of oils, which are also emulsifier. I definitely can eat lactic acid, and we all do. Every time we eat cheese, we drink milk, any dairies, sour cream for that matter, yogurt, because it's naturally found in milk. And that being said, I definitely want to put the same thing on my face. Keep in mind, one molecule of lactic acid produces 1500 molecules of water beneath the surface of the skin. So that being said, you have a completely hydrated skin without drinking water. Okay, next what I'm going to do, I am going to work a little bit the muscles, and I want to lift the skin a little bit, and I want to clean the skin and lift the skin from within. So that being said, I am going to remove the excess of the oil. We know the oil is not a conductor, so therefore I want to make sure that electricity will be conducted inside skin. Again, baby wipes, and this is how I am going to do it slowly so you all can see. I actually wrapped my fingers like so. See, like this and like that. And once I'm doing that, these are, like I said, disposable. They are not reused, safe and clean, and wipe. I just soak them in green tea. It smells good. It's a strong antioxidant. What antioxidant means? Any substance that kills free radicals, or in plain English, fight oxidation. Oxidation that is produced naturally by environmentals, by everything our skin comes in contact with, by what we call extrinsic factors. Extrinsic factors could be makeup, sun, wind, medication, hormones, food that we eat, whatever we drink. The only intrinsic factor that we can never change is the DNA, the ribonucleic acid. So this being said, I am going to do right now an electrical stimulation of her muscles of the face. Give me 1 second here so I can untangle my cords. Okay, and I'm going to use faradic current. I'm not going to use microcurrent, although if I attach this end of the cord to the microcurrent section of my machine, obviously I can do that, but I'm going to use faradic. Why faradic? Because I want a little bit more intense current, and faradic is actually used for larger muscles of the face or body They are more effective than the microcurrent. If you want to maintain the skin, then you can definitely use microcurrent. But if you have to correct something, like I have to correct right now when it comes to her wrinkles, and I want to fight what was neglected for a few years, definitely I have to use faradic current. Okay, there are many devices out there for faradic. I advise you to definitely seek training. This is not a joke. You can harm someone with this currents if you don't know what to do. So again, I wrap my electrodes for two purposes. I don't want any residues from the skin to clog my electrodes, and secondly, I want to be able to dip these electrodes in green tea nonstop. So once I will do the current, I would have a proper stimulation. Okay, so what I need to do right now, I want to start by setting the intensity. Okay, so I want you to tell me if you feel if you're gonna feel the electricity. Okay, it's gonna take a while. You're not gonna feel it right away, but you're gonna feel either tingling or the muscle is gonna start moving. Okay,
Okay.
I have to work a little bit more until you're gonna feel something.
Feel it.
Okay, now what I would like to see is the muscle moving. Okay, how is it?
Okay.
Okay, on a scale from 1 to 10, how intense is?
Say an 8.
Okay, now you won't be able to control your muscles, so they're gonna move by themselves. Okay, and you're gonna make funny faces, but that's okay. Okay, I want you to be relaxed and let me do this. Okay, when I'm gonna go closer to your eye, I'm going to lower the intensity, but right now I want to work a little bit more. Okay. Okay, I once I hit a nerve, and I definitely know where the nerves are, your muscles are going to move. Okay, and I want those muscles to move because that is called passive exercise. Okay, so it's like I put your muscles on treadmill. Once this movement it happens, and it happens only if I hit a nerve. There are many nerves, many hundreds of nerves that goes through every single muscle of our face or body. The nerves are actually moving the muscles, so the current stimulates the nerve and produces a contraction, and then release that after a certain amount of time. Depends of the amount of time I set the intensity of the machine for. And while your muscles are tense like they are right now, you are going to definitely have a very unique syndrome that will happen inside of your skin or phenomenal. You will start producing a substance called myelin, which is a protein that needs to build up inside of our muscles in order to firm the muscle, and if the muscle firms, you have that lifting effect. You're gonna need at least 4 or 5 treatments like so. Without that, you are not going to be able to, I'm not going to be able to correct this because you have oily skin. Oily skin wrinkles are a little bit deeper than the one found and seen on dry skin. Okay, I'm gonna take this off a little bit, and I'm gonna move the camera a little bit closer to your head so people can actually see this kind of movements that I'm talking about.
Is it
Okay,
recording?
it's fine. Yes.
This is what she's doing this with.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually very relaxing. It doesn't look like, but it's very relaxing. So I'm gonna do passes, and as I do these passes, you're gonna feel different muscles moving. Now, sternocleidomastoid muscle that is here on the side of the neck, it's a large muscle, so is the muscle in the middle of the neck, the platysma. So they require a little bit more work, but I'm gonna stay here. Your shoulder will move as well as I'm doing this. So I know it's not painful, it's just weird. But I want to stimulate the neck muscle. Okay, I'm gonna start this side. So we're gonna do that another 2 minutes at least, and then I'm gonna do my final passes. Keep in mind, everyone, that we are offer classes here at Alexander Beauty Center, and we are going to train you and certify you how to use almost any device you need to use, whether it is purchased from us or it's your device and you don't know how to use it. You can definitely attend our classes and you can learn how to use these devices. Another thing that um, I do, and you'll probably have seen this, I use almost no skincare products. So all I'm doing is organic mixtures using raw ingredients, plant oils, extracts. I may make all my oils, all my extracts. Literally, I climb the mountains and I get the ingredients I need to get in order to um, do the treatments I do. And because of that, in 32 years I've done this, I've never had an allergy. I've never had a side effect. Even the product that I use on the customers, where I have the customer used at home, they have never returned telling me that they have an allergy or they dislike the product. And that's the key in successful skincare, because if the customer has bad reaction from your product, he will definitely not believe you or believe in your treatments. And you want to make sure that your customers know very well they can trust you and your products. It's true that you have to have a very good understanding of chemistry and absolutely fantastic understanding of histology of the skin. If you don't know skin, um, and you don't know exactly what kind of ingredients you have to use for each condition, because you can never change the skin type. The only thing that you can change, modify, and adjust are the conditions. So if you don't understand the condition, if you don't understand what causes the conditions, you're never going to be able to find the treatment. So this being done, I will clean the attachments later. I don't have to worry about this right now. I'm going to continue by making her mask. So I'm going to show you, since I promised this is going to be um, real and is going to be organic 100%. I'm going to show you my iPad. It's very simple. Inside here there are two green tea pads, nothing fancy. Okay, if you want to make it even better, what you can do is adding um, essential oil. Now, I can advertise anything I want. I definitely love, my favorite company to use essential oils is doTERRA, because it is by far the only essential oil that carries organic essential oils. So I'm putting a calming, soothing one, and then squeeze the excess of the tea, and then make your butterfly pad, and I will put it on the eyes. But before I would actually have it on the customer's eyes, as you can see it's already here, I would definitely want to have the mixture. So I'm going to show you the mixtures that you have to make for the mask I want for the customer. So I already have the green tea in here. You can see it is right here, and I'm not going to throw this away. So I'm going to use different kind of ingredients. First one, I'm going to use vitamin E. Just a little bit. It doesn't have to be a lot, you know. And I'm going to put about probably half teaspoon of vitamin E in here. Okay. Then the next one I'm going to put in there is going to be the hyaluronic acid. The same hyaluronic acid I have started, and I have purchased this on purpose. You can find it online. Amazon sell it. You can find hyaluronic acid on eBay. You can find on many companies line. And once I have that in there, definitely I want a little bit more, and I am going to ask my assistant to give me from the fridge the egg white, and I'm going to put a little bit egg white in here. No, it's on the door there. And now once the mask is on, I'm going to show you so you can see it. This is egg white, nothing fancy. regular egg whites from the store with fat content, not fat free. Okay, and I'm gonna put a little bit egg white in here. Okay, this is one. Our next one is going to be my absolutely favorite substance. It is blue algae or spirulina. Okay, so I am going to add about a quarter teaspoon of spirulina. You don't need a lot because it's a very potent substance. Okay, once this is inside, I also gonna put a little bit of essential oil. I definitely want to take away the smell from spirulina, which it smells like a seaweed, because it is a seaweed. So it smells very fishy kind of. 2 drops, 3 drops of this will be more than enough. Okay. So that's gonna be so far. And then I am going to add in here baking soda. I wish I can tell you fancy recipes, but simple recipes are always fancier. So I'm gonna put about 2 teaspoons of baking soda in my mixture. Once I'm gonna have the mask on the skin, I'm gonna explain exactly why am I doing this mixture. Okay. It's almost liquid, and that's fine. You don't need it too thick, because if you have thick mixtures, the skin does not absorb thick mixtures. The skin absorb thin mixtures, almost liquid, faster, easier. So I'm gonna put this all over the face. And then, because this is absolutely gold for the face, I am going to put this underneath the eyes as well. So I'm gonna brush this as close as I can to the eye, eyelid, absolutely everywhere. Since I've done microblading on her eyebrows, I don't want to cover this with baking soda, because it's going to promote the change of the color. So I don't want to fade away her ink from the eyebrows. Once this is pretty much all over the face, I'm going to apply the eye pads. And you notice this is the beauty of the baby wipes. They stretch. You can get it under the headset. And then, this being said, you'll be able to cover the face, and I will do what is called mommy mask. Now I'm gonna soak my compresses in the same mixture that I've done, the same mask. So I'm taking all my baby wipes, and I'm going to send them, I'm gonna actually soak them in this mask. Okay, and once it's soaked, you take it one by one, and I'm positive you all know what a mommy mask is. If you have a license in skincare, you already learned that in school. So I'll take my first pad, I'll stretch it and apply it on the neck. So this is going to be the first one. Then this is going to be my second one. Are you okay if I cover your mouth?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You want to ask the customer. Some people feel claustrophobic when this is done, and I don't want to scare my customer. I know already my customer, but I still ask them, because sometimes they could have a cold and they can't breathe properly on their nose, and then I have to leave the face exposed. Now you can see it's pretty much covered. Since I'm going to use light therapy after that, I want to make sure that the light is not going to interfere with the eyes. So I'm gonna put eye protection. Okay, lift your head a little bit. Thank you. All right. And I'm going to use the light. Okay. Give me a second. I want to make sure my cord reaches over. Can you scoop a little bit down on the bed for me? Thank you. That's it. That's good enough. All right. So we're gonna start with the red light, and that's what we're gonna do to her for 15 minutes, and then I'm going to alternate lights. Okay. I am going to cover this because I definitely want to make sure that she gets full benefits of the light. So the customer will be underneath my towel here exposed to this for 20 minutes. Okay. Now I'm gonna talk to all of you and tell you a little bit about the mixtures that I've done and why am I using every single ingredient that I put in there. Okay, so we're gonna start with green tea. As I told you, green tea is highly antioxidant. So what that means, it prevents oxidation of the cells. The problem with the aging process is that our cells, they should be able to divide once the cell reaches the 28 days. Unfortunately, environmentals, sun, bad nutrition, change of hormones, all those extrinsic factors I told you, alcohol, use of drugs, nicotine, all those, they actually kill the cell before the 28th day. So they are what is called the oxidants. In order to stop that to happen, so in order to prevent those extrinsic factors to attack the cells, you have to put into your products antioxidants. And they're pretty much all the vitamins, especially vitamin A, C, and E. But there are also other ingredients like ginger, like ginseng, katsumense, spirulina. There are many of them. So I definitely want to add into green tea is one of the probably best antioxidants. So I started with the green tea. Then I added hyaluronic acid. Hyaluronic acid, it is the water between each layer of our skin. So we have 5 layers of epidermis, 2 the dermis, and 1 hypodermis. So in total, you will say 8 layers of our skin above the muscles. Okay, in between each layer of our skin, there is this substance which is pretty much a molecule quite identical with the raw sugar, with the brown sugar. It's a complex of sugar, but it is a natural moisturization ingredient in between our skin. If we have enough, then we produce collagen. If we don't have enough, then our skin starts sagging because loss of collagen lose the bouncing effect. Collagen and reticulinum, so there are 3 fibers in our skin. One is the collagen, which is the vertical one. Then the horizontal one is the elastin, and the oblique one is the reticulinum. Reticulinum and the collagen we manufacture, we release into our skin as long as we live. Elastin, unfortunately, no scientist had discovered a remedy. Once you lost it, it's lost for good, and it never comes back. So you want to make sure that those two fibers, collagen and reticulinum, kind of stimulate as much as possible. And that's what hyaluronic acid does. In addition to that, remember what I told you about the lactic acid, if you want to add that, because it will produce even more water in between the skin layers. I did add it baking soda. You're gonna say, why baking soda? Because it does releases in between the cells, so in between the intercellular cement, the substance that is found in between our cells. If you look at the skin anatomy, our skin looks like a brick wall with bricks and mortar. So if it produces oxygen, it releases oxygen, and remember, there is no life without oxygen. So I want to stimulate the nucleus of the cell. I also want to make the cell releases within a substance that is called CP, CPT, or um, I have a lapsus like now. I'm gonna remember, and I'm gonna tell you. But I want to release that substance because it is, if you want, the energy inside of each cell. And without that energy, you are not going to have that cell living a long life enough to reach the 28 days when mitosis, where cell division takes place. Now, another substance that I used there was spirulina. Spirulina were blue algae. For those who have the curiosity to read about spirulina, it is very unique because it's pretty much 96% identical with human plasma. And remember, from human plasma, chemists extract stem cells. So every time you actually give a spirulina treatment to a customer, is like you give them a stem cell therapy. It contains absolutely every single vitamins and mineral our body needs. It also contains the whole range of amino acid, which are the blocks of proteins that makes our skin. And I'll give you an example. 70% of our skin is keratin. Keratin, in skin we have the soft keratin, in nails and in hair we have the hard keratin. It's a protein. So unless you eat and you supply your skin with certain proteins, you're not going to produce proteins from within. And there are 22 of these proteins, or amino acids. Unfortunately, our body makes only 8. So 14 must be delivered from food, from our daily nutrition. And I have never found a person that is knowledgeable enough, nor that she has a lab at home to measure everything that she eats and what is the content of the proteins that she eats. However, if you add a quarter teaspoon of spirulina in your daily yogurt or oatmeal, you get the protein amount you need every day. People don't really do that because, like I said, it smells like fish. So not many people likes that first thing in the morning. Okay, but it's very healthy. So I have added spirulina into this mixture for this purpose. The essential oil, the blend that I use from doTERRA, it's a calming one. You want to calm the skin down after all the stimulation of the radio frequency and the faradic. And then it's also a soothing effect. And I use the ophthalmic nerve, the nerve behind the nose, that actually send special sensory reaction to the brain and calms down the brain, so the customer relaxes and feels good about this. Um, why egg white? Very simple. In egg white, among other proteins, there is one in particular that I absolutely love, and that's called albumin. And for those you burning your skin next time, don't put water or whatever substances you might want to put on that burn. Put egg white right away, because if you do, you're gonna heal the skin without leaving behind a scar or a pigmentation. Okay. It's also albumin. It is essential to produce this collagen in the skin and firm the skin. So it's not firming the muscle, but it's firming the skin. And you can do at home. For instance, I always tell my customer, use an egg white mixed with a little bit oil, any oil you have in the house. Could be olive oil, could be grapeseed oil, could be, if you have a vitamin E, and then add a little bit baking soda and fresh aloe vera. I have aloe vera plants in my backyard, and I always scrape that gel and put in a mixture, and then put that on over your face and your décolleté. and you're gonna have a beautiful firm skin. If you do that once a day, it would be ideal, but not everybody does that. But if you do that, say every other day or every 3 4 days, within 3 weeks you're gonna see significant results on your skin elasticity. So your skin is gonna be a little bit firmer and almost lifted. um, that's about it. The red light, as you see now, I use it all the time because every single color of light is used for different purposes. Red light is the one that produces moisturization, so stimulates the production of hyaluronic acid that I told you is found in between each layer of the skin, and therefore produces collagen. When people have oily skin like my customer here, I like to combine red and blue, and that's what I'm going to do right now, because once you do that, you are going to kill bacteria with the blue light and stimulates hydration and collagen with the red light. I had over the years thousands and thousands of my former students asking me why and how is the blue light killing the bacteria.